For my reflection today, I would like to share what impacted me the most about this class, because geopolitics can be easily overlooked in a business context until all of a sudden something very big happens and makes it impossible to ignore. But for me, though, geopolitics has always been relevant, and in this class, I learned that there are so many different opinions and points of view about geopolitics, depending on your background, your context, your history, and this was something that I was not very aware of, and it was very fascinating for me because geopolitics is not math. It is not an exact science, and I'm an engineer, so I was very shocked by this, specifically by three main examples. The first one was when we talked about Russia invading Ukraine, if it was fault of aggressors' violence or if it was fault of NATO. And I was very shocked to see that a lot of people really blamed this invasion on a strategic misstep, as I would call it, from a global organization and not on the violence of the aggressor. The second example was when we talked about India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh independence, and to see how passionately and how convinced some of my classmates were about blaming today's or current conflicts in the region to the UK, who has not been in the region for the past 78 years, and how they really hold into this history and into what they learned growing up. And finally, when we talked about Venezuela and how the US should or should not invade this country, and I was shocked that during the course there were a lot of comments of how terrible is the war, and a lot of also most of our classmates that had their families affected for different conflict in different regions. And then all of a sudden, because Venezuela needs help, now the solution was war. So I don't know, I think that it is important to understand that geopolitics can have very, very different opinions, and understanding this and understanding the context would make us better leaders in the future. So I really enjoyed the class, and I really think that I would take all these learnings for the future global teams I would lead in my career.